Hey guys, so quickly before I go in, I don't know, I'm just in the lesson video mode, I guess, in the last couple days. But what I wanted to show, as far as working on, kind of continuing on from the last lesson video where I was showing some technique stuff in approaching doubles in a closed stance in addition to your open stroke doubles. Now remember, I use Weckl grip, so that's kind of why you see my pointer fingers always dangling off to the side and isn't in my fulcrum front pinch here. And I was saying, remember, you want to see this nice open space in your hand here so that the stick can go into that open space. Your fingers are following the stick, and you're letting the rebound of the stick come right back up into your hand rather than your hand is guiding it back up. So it's just as if you like go down and the stick comes just flying back up into your hand, you know, where you're letting the stick do that. See, it's so much rebound. I'm trying to really accentuate it too, so you see that it's not my hand pulling the stick back up, it's the stick coming back up with its own rebound. But that's what you're controlling of that motion, that bouncing of the ball motion. Now, what you can do to practice for, your touch and your closed stroke roll structures is what I call stepping up the ladder kind of thing. So you're starting with doubles, basically, and you can isolate this in each hand. You don't have to play them as roll structures. It's actually good to isolate the hands at first just to get them into muscle memory, but you're just starting at doubles, so 2 in each hand. And this would be this would be using it in a roll structure, but you're just basically thinking, okay, 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2, just doubles in each hand. Right? Get them nice and, really relaxed. Really, let the stick do all the work for you. It's literally that teeter-totter motion. So you're just, remember like on being on kids in the teeter-totter, right? It's literally you're taking that fulcrum point and you're just teeter-tottering the stick, if you think about it like that. So that's why Vic Firth sticks all have that American flag on them. For people that don't know, that's the balance or the fulcrum point of every pair of Vic Firths, no matter what they are. They'll always have the American flag in the spot where your fulcrum, basically you could think where your thumb goes. I find, sometimes I'll kind of choke up or choke down on the stick a little bit more depending on, what I'm doing context-wise. But that's a good just visual guide for people that don't know that. That's what the American flag, that's the point of where it's at on the stick. So you're practicing just doubles, just then isolate left hand. Okay, doubles in each hand, left. And practice around with some different grips, and drop catch. And, a little more tension in using your front fingers versus then take your front finger away and do it all with your back 3 fingers. Just kind of for your grip what works best for you. But as I was saying in the last lesson video, there are very specific reasons and anatomical reasons of why I suggested the things I did in the last lesson video. Not only will it help you kind of clean up some of those things or get your left hand up to your right hand speed, but make things a little more articulate and also help you to prevent yourself from injuring yourself. So playing relaxed and loose will allow you to play faster, more sustained, and in a relaxed way so that you can sustain it and it still sounds clean and even, right? Okay, so once you've isolated the 2, or double strokes, but the reason I'm saying the 2, because now I'm going to go to 3. So what you're learning to do is not only hear that you're playing 3 notes in which you're going to be triplets now, right? But you're tactilely, you're feeling it within your, tactile sense of how many notes you're playing before you're picking the stick up on each one. So training your muscle memory, not only what you're hearing, you're thinking, but what you're feeling as far as how many notes you've played is just as important. So then 3. And if you give a harder throwdown, so what I mean by the throwdown is the first is a wrist. That's your throwdown. That's where all your velocity and the rebound for the other finger strokes is coming from. So if you start with a higher velocity, it'll give you more rebound to work with when you do those 3 strokes. But I'm just doing them light to show, like, it doesn't take a lot to do them. It's just finding that balance point, and you don't have to use a lot of force to get them out. Okay, then left hand, now 3 strokes. And if you can't do them that quick right away, and then just try to get them slow. Just the whole point is to try to train your muscle memory to get 3 strokes out and pick the stick up right at that time once you feel 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, triplet, right? Because your triple stroke roll, where you're doing triplets, you can count those as 16th note triplets. 1 tita and tita, 2 tita and tita, 1 tita and tita, 2 tita and tita. If people don't know how to count 16th note triplets, they're kind of silly. It's a lot of syllables to say, especially when you're playing quick. But just think 16th note triplets, 6 notes for every 1 beat, 1 quarter note. So you're playing as the phrasing for a 16th note triplet, if that's just 1 beat worth. But what you're doing, when you're playing it with triple stroke in each hand, see, but now I'm just playing 3 notes in each hand. But for every 1 quarter note, that's what it sounds like. Is 1 tita and tita, 2 tita and tita, 3 tita and tita, 4 tita and tita. So it's a lot of notes to say for each quarter note, but if you just think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4, 2, 3, 4. I can't even say those syllables that fast enough, but you get the point. 6 notes for every 1 quarter note. So your phrasing is that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's hard to count the syllables that fast, right? That's why we usually just feel it within that those 6s, because your triplets, you're playing 3, right? Triplet, 1 and a, 2 and a, 3 and a, 4 and a, 1 and a, 2. If you're playing single stroke and 8th note triplets, but then your single stroke 16ths, you're doubling that, right? So then now it's 6 notes, or you can think of it as 2 pairs of 3 sets of triplets. Like that, and then you go up to 4 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can count those like 16ths. 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. But you're doing 4 notes in each hand, okay? So just showing you when you're using your triplets, that's how you're counting them, and that's how you're feeling them within your either 3s or 6s. But if you're counting it in 2/4 just as a triple stroke roll, it's that counting as a 1 tita and tita, 2 tita and tita, 1 tita and tita, 2 tita and tita, okay? Then back now to the 4 strokes, 16ths. So now you're just doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then the other hand, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So see, it's really just your 1 wrist stroke, and then the rest are all fingers. Does that make sense, hopefully? Then all the way up just to a 5-stroke roll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then accent the 5. So that's kind of where you have to put a little English into the last stroke. So you're doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Kind of giving that accent on the last note. That kind of a thing. So that way you're getting all the way up to, you can go up to 7 stroke. You can actually get up to 9 with one hand, And I'm trying to give it as loose as I can, or a little movement as I can to get up to there. But if you work your way up to 5 strokes with one hand in each hand, it'll really help. So that's kind of what I call stepping up the ladder. It's kind of a fun little game, but you're just going from 2s to then 3s to then 4s to then all the way to a 5-stroke with one hand. It will really help your ghosts, and then it will also help you to be able to play like when you're playing patterns. Sorry, I can't play full patterns right now. I can't be loud. There's a meeting going on next door. But if you're playing full patterns, then you can start doing all 5 strokes with your left hand and like ghosting, playing triplets. So now then you're kind of working with more than just double strokes, and you're working with like You know, that way you're kind of da 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 da. But your other hand, and pretend I'm doing eighth notes on the hi-hat. So, sorry, I can't be loud at all right now, and I actually have to go to work too, but that's a fun little exercise. So just think of it as, okay, double strokes, really focus on that grip and that technique when you're doing it, then go to triplets, and I showed you how to count those triplets. You can either count them in eighth notes, if you're doing them slow in eighth notes, 1 and a, 2 and a, 3 and a, 4, well, you'll be counting them in 2/4, so it'd be 1 and a, 2 and a, 1 and a, 2 and a, 1 and a, 2 and a. Same thing with the 16th note triplets, with you're playing triple strokes in each hand. 1 tita and tita, 2 tita and tita, 1 tita and tita, but thinking 1 2 3 4 5 6, 1 2 3 4 5 6, 1 2 3 4 5 6, 1 2 3 4 5 6 for each quarter note. For that, then up to 4 strokes in each hand, counting those as just sixteenths. 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a, 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. So then and then all the way up to 5 stroke. 1 2 3 4 5. So you get the idea. But it's a fun little exercise, and it will really help your hands. It really will. It'll help your stick control a lot. Because then you're not relying on having to do everything single stroke or bringing 2 hands to each surface to get that amount of notes out. So, and it really turns into a lot of great touch stuff on the snare too. So hopefully it helps. All right, guys, love you. Have a great day. Happy drumming.